Hi everyone, welcome to Story with Hala 21. So today is a bit of a special episode. I just want to say Merry Christmas to everyone 2 days earlier because just want to say Merry Christmas. It's Christmas Eve, the evening before Christmas Eve. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays everyone. Have a good Christmas, and without further ado, let's start. So, we're going a little festive. I decided for the quote with Hala, we're going to be doing a Christmas one. Let's see. Okay, so this week's quote is "Christmas isn't a season, it's a feeling" by Edna Ferber. This quote really is true. Christmas isn't a feeling. Christmas isn't a holiday, it's a feeling. It's a feeling where you get all tingly and ready in the Christmas morning to go open the gifts. And it's like very fun, especially for the elders to sit there watching their kids open the gifts with just complete surprise and shock. So Christmas is a very fun feeling, not holiday. Okay, so let's start the story now. Again, this is a PDF, very efficient. You guys can see the screen better that way, and it's just easier. So let's share the screen. Okay. All right. So the story today that I'm going to be reading today is A Visit from Saint Nicholas. 'Twas the Night Before Christmas by Clement Clark Moore. Okay. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled, all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads, and Mamma in her handkerchief, and I in my cap, had just settled down for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang out from the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the lustre of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer, with a little old driver, so lively and quick, I knew in a moment that it must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now, Dasher, now, Dancer, now, Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donder and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle mount to the sky, so up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then a twinkling I heard on the roof, the prancing and pawing of each little hoof, as I drew in my hand and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed in all fur, from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as white as snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him. In spite of myself, a wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but when straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside from his nose and giving up a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team he gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and all a good night." The end. I hope you all enjoyed the story as much as I did. I found the story had a lot of rhymes, and I loved it just as Dr. Seuss's book had a lot of rhymes too. I find it hard, especially in a book if you're going to write a normal book. It's hard as it is, but to add rhymes to it, that's even harder. So, very good book, and I love all the rhymes. Right, so without further ado, let's do this week's craft. Unfortunately, starting next week, we're going to finish with the Christmas theme, but we're still going to be doing winter theme. Not as Christmas, but like winter themes, like for example, the crafts, that stuff you can do outside in the snow. Unfortunately, here in Canada, we haven't been getting as much snow. Like just specifically this year, I don't know why I missed tobogganing and going skiing and stuff. So, but let's see in January. Maybe we can get more snow in January. So, like I said, starting next week, we're gonna be finished with the Christmas theme and instead like a winter theme. I'll see what I can do. All right, so this week's craft is going to be a little, sort of like a little cup or a little container where you can store little candies. I find this nice to like hide it around the house and put little candies in it. So on Christmas Day, like when everyone wakes up to go open the gifts, it can also be like a little bonus to like find all the little containers with the candies inside. So this is how it should look at the end. I got this inspiration from crazylittleprojects.com/holidays. It's a very good website you can find, and it has a lot of different crafts like this one. Just specifically this one I find good. There's also an elf and a reindeer and a Santa and a snowman. But I decided to choose the Santa since I find it's my favorite one. So at the end, it should look something like this. I have a little meringue in it right now, but you can also fill it with different types of little candies and stuff like that. So what you're going to need to do it is just, in the original photo, they had little flower pots, and I brought some these little containers, Dollarama, really cheap and easy to find. So just like a little container or flower pot, something that should look like this. You're going to need some felt to make the hat of Santa. Paper also works, but felt gives it a better texture and better quality. So you're going to need some felt and a little flower pot and some googly eyes for the eyes of Santa and a few pom-poms. That's optional, of course, but it really brings more joy to it. And I mean, who doesn't love pom-poms? You can also like bring, you know, extra just optional stuff like glitter and sequins and stuff like that. It's always funner when there's glitter and sequins. So that's what we're going to be working with today. And also, since we're doing Santa, you can use some like little cotton balls like what I have here. But for instance, if you're using the reindeer, like some pipe cleaners. And if you're doing the snowman, like maybe a little Sharpie to draw the buttons. So like it really depends which craft you're doing. This time I'm doing Santa, and you can look at the website for inspiration. So let's get started. What you're going to first want to do is, I obviously prepped before here, so I wouldn't spend a long time doing everything. But what you're going to want first is to cut a little, you know, kind of like Santa hat shaped thing out of felt. Usually, you know, you're going to want to use red because that's like how usual Santa hats are. But, I mean, you could use green. It doesn't really matter. Colors may vary. So you're going to want to cut out something that looks somewhat like this. And then what you're going to want to do is you can glue it from the front, but then it won't. It's easier if you glue it from the bottom, like from the inside of the thing. So it just inside of the pot, so then it stays standing up like this. So for this craft, you're gonna need some hot glue. Make sure you have adult supervision, and because hot glue is very hot and you could get burned. So just make sure you have some adult supervision while you're doing this craft. Okay, so like I said, first thing you're gonna want to do is put the little hat, kind of position it as like, you know, wherever you want. And I know where I'm gonna put mine, like over here. So it's from the inside. So I'm just gonna grab some hot glue and put it on here. Also, if you're dealing with hot glue, when it's put like a little piece of paper, like a little wrapper under it so it doesn't spill all over the sheet you're working on. So we're just gonna take the felt and we're going to put some hot glue over here. Hot glue is mesmerizing. I don't know why. It's like the very softness. Glue stick. Okay, so we're gonna take that and put it at the very bottom so it stays sticking up and push. Okay, bam. So we have that step finished. Also, another thing that's also optional with the hat, you could just leave it like this, but I love pom-poms. So I just chose a little green pom-pom, and I'm gonna stick it to the very top of the hat, just like this. Let me put the camera down so you can see better. There we go, that's much better. Okay, so you're gonna wanna put the hat, the pom-pom, like right here, where the hat is. Let's take our hot glue and do that now. I think some hot glue has leaked on the table. That's all right. Okay, so let's put some glue on the pom-pom. Glue. Okay. Okay. Gotta stick that on there. There's a lot of hot glue, like strings, you could say. That's what happens a lot in hot glue, and it aggravates me. There's strings everywhere. So let's just do that. Put that over there. And there you go. Now we have this Santa hat part finished, and it's actually really cute. And as you can see, there's a lot of room. So in there to put like some candies in it or some toys. It could also be like stockings, like if you're putting a little lip balm in there. Teachers, this would be a very good like craft to put in your classroom, to decorate and put like little things inside of it for your students. So just in general, you can do a lot of things with these crafts. You can just think of basically anything to do with this. Okay, so now that we have the Santa hat over with, we're gonna start with, let's do the lining of the hat. Usually when you see a Santa hat, it's not just like this. It has like some fur lining over here. So I have my cotton balls right over here. You're gonna wanna make it look like a little worm. So like shape it into a little worm or like a little line like this one. So it's, because if you have it like all bunched up, it's not gonna look very nice. So just like this would be good. And then you could position it in a way where it's like, looks like a real Santa hat. So let me do that now. I'm gonna grab the hot glue again. This stuff is dangerous. Okay, put the hot glue on the thing. There we go. And now we're just going to put some cotton over here. And actually, I'm gonna use a bit more to this for the side. And there we go. There, now there's a little fluff on the hat, and it looks more like how a Christmas hat should look like. All right, so, oh, there's a reference. He better be there. And next, it's time for the googly eyes. Also, it's way funner when you use an eye that's bigger and an eye that's smaller. Then it'll end up looking like this. This one has an eye that's bigger and an eye that's smaller, and it's much funner and, you know, kind of silly. So let's put the eyes on now. Put it in. Okay, and I'm gonna put mine right here. There's the strings again. There's just strings everywhere. Okay, so we're gonna put the eyes here. Eye number 1 and eye number 2. Let's put them closer to each other so it looks like they're stuck together. That's always funny. And that is how it looks like so far. There you go. Also, if this is not like looking very silly, if you don't want it looking very silly, you can go more realistic. But I want it just looking just like a nice, silly, kind of cartoony decoration. Next is the nose. So usually, like Santa is a normal human being. Santa Claus is a normal human being, but in the reference that I found on crazylittleprojects.com/holidays, they had a little nose right here, and I actually thought that looked very funny and cute. So I'm just gonna add that. Again, that's optional. You can really design it any way you want to, but this is just how I choose to design it. Okay, let's stick that right here. And there you have it. We're not just done yet, though. If you look at the reference that I made earlier, there's like a little cotton beard over here, and that just adds to the funness. So I'm just gonna grab some cotton balls and kind of shape them into like the beard shape that Santa has, and put some hot glue. Also, when you're working with the cotton balls or just mostly fabric, it's nice to put the hot glue on the cup that you're using, not the actual fabric, especially with cotton, because it's going to get everywhere and it's going to get really sticky on the cotton and stuff like that. So just put it on over here at the bottom where the mouth would be, and put the little beard just like this. I think Santa's beard is a bit too long, so maybe I should cut it up a little bit. There we go. Santa got a haircut. And there you go. You're finished. Now, this craft took like barely any time. You can do this. It would take more time for me because I have to explain what to do. But this is a really fast craft. And if you get multiple of these, it's actually really fun to make. And it's fun to do different designs. So just be sure to check out the website, www.crazylittleprojects.com/holidays, and there's a bunch of different crafts like this one you could do, and it's just really fun looking at the website and seeing all the different crafts you could do. So that's the finishing project, and if you ask me, it looks really nice and silly and fun, and it's really good to do, again, with the kids, with the family. Sometimes, you know, like everyone's bored, everyone's in their own space, but it's nice to, you know, one day all sit around the dining room table, do a craft together, do a board game together, and these easy crafts are fun to do with your family or just by yourself if you're feeling a bit bored. So this is the finishing product, very fun, and you'll end up with something like this. I'm just gonna, for example, here I have some candies. I'm gonna put it inside. And there we go. Fill that up with some candies, and you can just have some yummy candies to eat inside this. All right, we're getting to the end of our story with Hala. Before we go, I wanted to give you some joy and cuteness this week and show you an adorable little new member of my family. His name is, oh, that yawn. His name is Elbi. We named him Elbi because in Arabic that means my heart, and he is just my heart. He's just taken over my heart, and because he had a little heart on his back. So Elbi, say hi. He's gonna eat me. So this is our new member of the family. I love him so much. I just wanted to give you guys a little joy for the holidays. So to wrap this up, happy holidays, everyone. I hope you all have amazing holidays and enjoy it with your family time and just have a lot of fun. Make sure to have at least one moment with your family where you're all in the same room, playing board games together, spending time together. And instead of everyone being in their own room, kind of on their electronics and stuff like that, it's nice to have some family time and communicate like normal human beings. So I hope you enjoyed the story of Hala. One more thing before I go. I will not be taking off this holiday because, you know, most of you heard there is going to be a lockdown, so I'm not really going to have anything to do or go out to, and like, you know, barely any activities because there's no snow outside. So I will not be taking off this holiday. Besides, I love doing this show and being with you guys every Wednesday, 5 o'clock. So I just wanted to let you guys know. Have an amazing holiday. Have so much fun with times with your family. Merry Christmas, everyone. Bye. See you next week.